And we're hot.
Thank you guys for joining us. Yeah, I got one of those
Who did?
those number neighbor things today. It's fucking
Your text door neighbor.
text door neighbor. What is that? What it is? Yeah, I just now figured out what it was today. It was fucking. Oh my god.
I've never had the opportunity to do that.
People like are getting creative with these jokes now. Like whoever like thought of that. It's fucking.
I don't know, dude. Text door neighbors. Now you can play games with them and shit. Have you seen that meme where that guy's having or I guess it's a Vine or whatever, but this guy's having an argument with his girlfriend, and she's breaking up with him or something. She sends him all of these just paragraph-long texts, like you see him scrolling through his phone.
And he's like K.
No, well, there's one where he says K. There's one where he sends her back a game request. He's like, let's play 8-ball.
Let's play 8-ball.
Yeah. And then he turns around, he's wearing sunglasses, he looks at the camera. Oh my fucking god.
Let's play 8-ball.
Yes. You ever see like them things where people like grab rollers and put it on there? It's like they try to like line it up with a roller.
Oh, the text message?
Yeah.
Like measure how long the
No. 8-ball. On 8-ball.
Oh,
They try to like
no.
do it in the hole and then they're like
like use fuck with your angles or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about like if a girl sends you a really long text
Yeah,
message
like,
and you
that's
get a
kinda
ruler
funny.
and you're trying to
You get a
measure
ruler?
how long it is.
Bitch, you sent me a 2-foot long message.
like, God damn.
If it's past this many inches,
For
I'm not
real.
gonna read it. Yeah.
My care tolerance is 1.5 feet.
Oh my god.
Man, he can take a lot. Then that's like
1 foot 6 inches.
You guys ever get broken up over a text?
actually, yeah. One time.
I've done the breaking up over the text.
Didn't you like date some German girl
yeah. That was her. That was her.
and she broke up with you over a text?
Yeah. Actually.
How'd that go down?
She said in German.
Well, I was gonna. No, I wish that would have been nice. So I had to like Google translate it.
It's like
And then he's like,
we
oh.
are done.
it's like did she say she loves me? And you like Google Translate. It's like
Like, oh,
Put through.
oh.
Yeah.
But she sent me a text, and it was kind of funny. It was like we were thinking the same thing at the same time, because I was literally about to text her and say we need to talk, but I wasn't gonna text her over the phone and be like, hey, we're done. But yeah, that pretty much what she did to me. She beat me to the punchline.
So were you literally just sitting there and like just?
I was taking a walk. I was taking a stroll. You know,
Okay.
taking it easy, like, you know. Well, I don't know if I was taking it easy. I kind of knew she was gonna hit
Contemplating.
me up.
yeah.
I knew she was gonna hit me up with that stuff, but yeah, I was just walking and I was just kind of actually kind of laughed. I was like, huh, she beat me.
That's what they always say, but deep down inside, it hurt you.
The Jaimin.
Yeah, the only reason it sucked is that like she wanted to break up before for like I don't know what, and I was like, well, like, can you give me a chance or something, right? You know, I said, you know, some typical crap.
Some like middle school thing. It's like, come
Yeah.
on, baby, I know what love is.
And then she was like, okay. She just kind of like, okay-ish. But it was nothing that I did, actually. Like, because when I talked to her about it later, it was just like she's overwhelmed with school and all that. And sports. She was playing sports and doing like...
She doesn't have time for you.
But yeah, a bunch of AP stuff, yeah. And she couldn't just say that. And I would have been like, okay, but... I felt like it was something that I was doing, so I was like, hey, give me a chance, and all this hucking change, yada, 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 and all that junk.
This is in high school?
This is in high school. This is sophomore year.
By the way,
That's sophomore love.
if you want to have Phil on Tinder, he has Tinder right now. If you're across the world, he doesn't care.
I must be shadow banned, but anyway.
Yes.
But anyhow, that's a different subject.
What about you, Matt? You
Well-
ever broken up by?
I've done the breaking up.
No, you were telling me like in order to get back with like this girl, like you sent like a voice message of you like singing.
Oh my god!
Wait.
I guess I forgot telling you that.
Yeah, you told me in Colorado. You told me in Colorado.
I'm sad that people know that. Fuck.
Did you like,
Okay.
Did you do like some Ice JJ Fish stuff?
No, you know that song "Fall for You" by Secondhand Serenade.
No, I haven't heard it.
Wait, how long are we able to play a song?
just fucking play it. Like, just not the whole thing.
I'm gonna play
the
like
whole
5
thing,
seconds
but
of it. What is it again?
it's called "Fall for You" by Secondhand Serenade.
All right, tell us the story. I'll look.
Okay. Damn it! Why did I tell you this? Okay, so No, this was my first, I guess, real girlfriend in like 7th grade, I want to say. And literally when we started, here, pause it real quick, pause. Yeah, literally when we started dating, she asked me out, and I'm in 7th grade. I'm like, a girl's asking me out? Okay, yeah. And I see her walk over to her, I guess, current boyfriend and break up with him after she asked me out. And so now I'm thinking,
stuff right there.
yeah, now I think about it and I'm like, why would you date someone who broke up with someone to like be with you? It's like they're just gonna do that to you.
Yeah, well,
you know?
Especially when you got to see it, you know.
Yeah,
It was
I
really
like,
right in front of you. Like,
yeah, it was like right in front of me. We were all in the same class, and she walks over to homeboy. I think his leg was broken at the time or something. For some reason, my memory remembers him having a cast.
Double threat.
Yeah, I was like, how you gonna do it to this man in his
Double threat, right?
yeah his time of?
I'm gonna wait till his arm heals up, then
yeah
I'm gonna break up with him.
yeah
He
like,
says
let him
all-time
heal.
low. He's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it. I don't care that you broke your leg.
Parents, excuse my potty mouth. Shut the fuck up.
All right, I'm gonna play this song real quick. I'm gonna play
Okay, okay.
this song real quick.
Just a little bit. No. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I do remember this song.
Don't make me change my mind. Yeah, so I called this bitch on the phone, my home phone. We had 4 of them, one in each room. And when you called, you could pick up on the handset, but someone else could pick up their handset and see what was up. So she was always calling my house, and my parents would answer and be like, man, this girl's fucking calling you again. But, yeah, there was just a lot of... Oh, yeah, so she asked me out, and then she goes and breaks up with this guy.
Right.
And then I think it was either later that day or the next day she like broke up with me. And I was in like 7th grade, and I was just like
Devastated.
I was devastated. Like I started crying. I cried in every period that day. And
he was
then
already in love.
yeah, already I was like, this is my first girlfriend, and it was torn away from me so soon.
He was in love.
Yeah, and she apparently cheated on me like steady throughout it was like a on
Steady
and off
throughout
like
your day.
not throughout the day, but I wouldn't put it past her, but not like just throughout our relationship, because there was a lot of on again off again type shit. And then my homies were like, look bro, like they were trying to tell me, and I was just so naive because I was like, oh, this is my first girlfriend. And
That's kind of like the classic story. It's like,
yeah,
But what does the song have to do with it again?
the song was apparently it was our song.
Right.
Like
right.
when you hear it, it's like, oh, you think of that person.
oh gosh.
But
I have
yeah,
a
so
I have
we
a
were
cringy moment like that.
so we were, I guess, breaking up, or we were fighting or something, and I was like, oh, I don't want you to leave me. And then I called her, and she wouldn't answer, so I left a message of me just singing that song, and I was crying,
Dude,
dead
that's like
ass,
some movie stuff,
like
man.
seriously.
Sing it right now for us.
No, dude. He's like,
Okay,
best
Howard.
things about tonight is that we're not fighting or some shit.
Oh
Like,
gosh, dude.
and I was like, like shaky voice and shit. Oh my
I
god.
bet she remembers that too.
I'm sorry, Matt, for bringing up that.
That's
story.
fucking
That's-
funny, but
that's fucking funny as
embarrassing.
shit.
What was you said you have a similar?
Oh yeah, it was. I think I just liked the song, and I was like trying to be like sweet or something, you know, on her.
You're like, let me sing
I
this
d-
song.
honestly, it
Oh,
was
so
just-
you weren't like
I was
breaking
just-
up or whatever.
No, we were like still kind of like dating, but I don't know. She would just like shit on Americans and stuff like that. And think, oh, you're so
Oh, this
cheesy.
is still
and
the
all
German
this.
girl.
Yeah, this is the same girl. I mean, I
Shit
dated
on
her for,
Americans.
I dated her for like half a year. Yeah, she's
Did she have an accent?
Not really, but I mean, you could. Nah, not really at all. Actually, she was pretty fluent, but she could speak both ways if she wanted to. But, yeah, it was so. She just thought everything that, kind of Americans did was like cheesy or whatever. I'm like, well, bitch, you live here, but.
It's like, what do you do?
Yeah, but okay. So I was listening to this song. It's Bobby Caldwell. What you won't do for love, right? What you
Okay.
won't do
Do for love, you try anything. Yeah, what you won't give.
I think I
up.
just was digging the song, and I was like,
That's a
I was
fucking
like-
fire song.
yeah. I was like, this reminds me of us, you know.
You sang it to her?
I sent it to her. Oh shit.
Oh, you sent her like
I
a
se-
YouTube link or the lyrics?
yeah, I think of the link.
Nah, dude, I was steady texting lyrics, bro.
I straight sent the link. I was like, check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Dude, I would send a full fucking song lyrics on the where you had the
Oh,
phone where
gosh.
you tap the button 3 times to get a C, and then you got to tap the next button like 4 times.
See, I
No,
don't
that is
relate.
some stupid shit, dude. I had a phone like that. It was like the old flip, right? Was it a flip phone for you?
Yeah, well, I had a flip phone, and then I had this one where it was like the numbers, and then you turn it sideways, and it would slide up. You had a
Oh,
keyboard.
yeah, them things. Yeah, my friend had one
that
of
was
those.
next level.
But I had like, let's see, I had like a couple Motorola phones.
I had a Cricket phone.
A Cricket phone?
Yeah.
No, you know what I had? One of the first phones I had was the little shitty Firefly.
That's what I thought you were
That
talking
looked-
about, with only like 5 numbers.
No,
on
it has like it has like 3 buttons on it.
No,
but
the
you can-
Cricket, the brand.
Oh yeah, they didn't start.
Which one is
And
that?
it starts
one?
at like 20.
Oh
like,
no, that's
15.
like that's like
Yeah.
a company though.
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
but like
That's
I thought
like
you were
Metro
talking
or
about
something.
the little. Yeah, Cricket is.
you're talking about like the
like a-
frog, like the leapfrog.
No, we're
iPads.
talking about like
Yeah.
we're talking about like phone models and crap, dude. Like
Yeah, the Dragonfly.
The leapfrog iPad.
it was called a Firefly, and it was like a little blue pod looking phone, and that's just the funniest
That
thing.
shit-
And you can call your mom or your dad
or 911.
Yeah, or 911. I think you can actually put other numbers in there, but you have to like do some weird shit to get to
You
it.
got to mod it.
And then there was
right.
and there was those things called the beepers that were like back in the 90s.
But
those things called the beepers.
yeah, but I don't know shit about that. But I had like the flip one. I had one that was like the Motorola one and all that, and then the second flip one I got was a Walkman phone, and it was pretty
Huh.
interesting. Yeah, it was weird.
I
There
thought
was
that
actually
was like a cassette player.
yeah, but I
Walkman.
guess they made like a phone version. You know,
Hmm.
it was called like a Walkman phone. It's a little flip phone. It's a pretty hip looking thing for the time, I guess. But hip. But you know what was dope about it? You could get on there and make like little beats out of stock sounds. You can make
Oh
beats on it.
shit!
Yeah, and that's what I used to do. Up at night, I would stay up and like make beats on it.
Damn.
But
Did you ever see those ones where it was skinny as a motherfucker and you flipped it like, I guess 180 degrees? It wasn't like
that
flip
went
it
like
up.
that?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
would rotate up kind of on a hinge, like your elbow.
Right, and it would look like L-shaped
but it was
thing.
but it was so skinny. I was like, why? How do you even enjoy the experience?
Who made
on
that?
this? I don't know.
I thought that was like a concept thing. I didn't know if it actually got
Yeah,
made.
that was back when they were doing weird shit with phones.
Yeah, I think really everyone was just kind of shat on that and said, "Nah,
Yeah.
this is dumb." Like, you know.
When you look at phones now compared to how phones were back then, the screens were so small.
I mean,
You didn't
it wasn't
need
like a
anything.
problem. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you didn't need that. No one thought, hey, let's make it like how computers are. I guess basically make it
Yeah.
like a pocket computer, essentially.
What I have noticed
Still
though,
for communications, really, just calling and texting. And
yeah,
texting was fucking new as shit too, really.
It is a computer. Basically,
I
at
grew
this
up with
point.
texting.
Well, yeah, I mean, so did we, but it was kind of like that was when it was becoming cool because you still
Yeah.
pretty much you were like still calling people all the time
Yeah.
back, when we were growing up.
Now I'm like, text me.
But
I'm not-
once you started making, in school, once you started making a few friends, and you're like, I got a phone, you got a phone.
yeah,
It was like we can call each other, or we could just text each other. Like
dude, I would just literally sit in my room and just text people.
yeah, it was like that was the
That
the
was the
new age
activity.
kind of. Yeah, it was like what was. Now everybody texts. It's like don't call me at all.
Yeah. But yeah, dude.
you only call unless you want to like know something really quickly.
Yeah, well, it was kind of that I guess, but it's like you couldn't text dad. Dad wasn't gonna read it, or mom wasn't
Right.
gonna read it, but your friend would,
Right. Yeah, I had the one where it was you turn it sideways and flip and have the keyboard. And then I was really reluctant to get a touchscreen at first because I was like, oh, I don't like the keyboard on it because you can't actually feel
Yeah.
the letters and shit.
That's so old school. That was like a BlackBerry thing.
And
Wasn't
then
it?
Yeah.
And then your
Was it-
grandma gets the phone and then she holds it like this, and then with like one finger, and just like this.
No,
you got to
but
put the glasses
I
on your
totally thought it
nose.
was cool as shit. I remember the first time I got this late, but I did eventually get the first generation iPhone,
Yeah.
and that was so cool for me because I was just like put a bunch of songs on it, and I could plug it up to the auxiliary and things like that, and it was cool. And you could screenshot things, and now you have a picture on your background on your phone,
Yeah.
on your lock screen. And it was
Yeah.
like that was cool,
Yeah, people would send me pictures.
It was like customizing your
Yeah.
own corner of the.
It used to be like you would have to open each individual text separately. it wasn't just all on one window, like you just scroll through. Because
Yeah.
texts now are set up how IMs used to be, like on AOL and shit like that. But nah, used to with text, you would open it up, you'd read the text, and you could be like delete, reply, and then when you hit reply, it would open up a new window, basically.
Oh, hey, I remember something else about texting. Like, people could have tags at the bottom of it. Remember that?
Yeah,
Do you
your
remember that?
signature.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't understand how to get that. I never had one, but my friends did. I was like, what is this? Like,
Yeah.
because they get it every time. But
Oh, it's like Tyler.
It'd be like
Or, like,
Jesus
your
saves.
name?
yeah, it would say the message.
Their signature.
It would say the message, and then it would say some kind of signature at the bottom, like
Yeah.
like in emails, you know.
Oh, it's like sincerely or
So
something.
yeah,
Like that.
kind of like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but you could make it
It's
like
your
people
own.
would make
your
it
own.
the
You'd be
little-
like, have a good day.
yeah,
Like,
or they do the little cat smiley face or shit
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like something goofy or whatever.
So it's on like every text.
Yeah,
like-
every text,
Yeah, it's,
That'd be so annoying. I'd be like,
It was.
Yeah.
Especially when it's a really long, deep text, and
Yeah.
at the end it's like
a laugh emoji.
Jesus saves.
Oh
or-
gosh, yeah. What if it was like a breakup and it was like
A laugh emoji.
and it was like Sarah baby or something like that? Or something.
Like, you used to be my.
You're like, what did he have to go?
She's my wonder wall.
Not anymore.
Nah, dude. When I was in high school, I was on that emo kick.
Oh my
with the,
god.
with the long hair.
Remember
and
that
the
one song? What was that one
bracelets and
song?
shit.
Check Yes Juliet.
Oh, dude,
Remember
I
that one?
fuck with that.
Do you remember that song?
Day
You know that song?
to this
Who's it
day,
by?
Check Yes Juliet.
We the Kings.
No, I don't think I ever heard that.
Yeah.
You heard it before. You heard it before. I know you
It's like lace up your shoes, ayo, ayo,
Man, you know that
here's
shit
how
was
we
really
do.
hot though, cause like I don't even listen to this, but I probably might know this song.
Run, baby, run. We do not.
That was
own-
definitely a mood of the mid 2000s.
All right. We don't want to
You
get
and
copyrighted.
me,
so-
Oh right, yeah. I wish you would have like got to the hook, but yeah, well, you know.
That was
Oh,
the hook.
but we don't want to get copyrighted.
That was part of the hook?
Yeah, he's like, run, baby, run. Don't ever look back.
I'm trying to think.
We're trying to keep this monetized.
But yeah, anyway. When we did.
We got a long ways to
Yeah,
go to get
very long
monetization, my
ways.
dude. But no, dude, when I was on that emo kick, I invented a emo emoji. And it was the number 7 and a period and then a right parenthesis. If you type that out, it looks like you got hair in your face. I'm dead ass if you type that shit out.
There's
Looks
people
like you got hair over
there's
one
people
of
like
your
the
eyes.
YouTube comment section. They'll do like a whole picture,
Yeah. It'll just be
and they'll be like, "Dude, can you send that to me?
Yes.
Can you send that to me?
like this for me to DM you a copy of it.
Send you a copy of Hank Hill."
Dude, what really, I don't know why this irks me as much as it does, but when people are like, no one, literally no one at all, literally no one ever, and they just keep going. They're like, literally no one in the universe. And then they'll be like,
It's like World Star.
yeah, or it'll be like, I don't know, they'll just say something at the end of it, and they'll be like, John Cena or some shit like that. But it's just, they just keep going, no one, literally no one at all. And then you just
I
keep
think
going.
saying literally is
Literally annoying.
literally annoying. Yeah.
No, and then there's a new trend of messing with those Visco girls. Those and it's like the classic white girls you see, and they have like the hydro flask.
Is that like a filter?
No, the hydro flask water bottles.
No, what the fuck?
What is that
Am
shit?
I that out of touch? Hold on.
Fuck.
Got a hydroblast.
Hydro flask.
It's my hydro.
You got a
So-
hydro
my
blast.
hydroblast.
Gotta.
And they'll go into Starbucks, chugging that along, getting a whole water filled up with it.
That literally looks like. Sorry, literally. Not. It actually does though. It looks like any other water bottle I've ever seen.
and then
So what's the difference about this thing?
The
This
Visco
one's
girls-
$1,200.
so you know the app Visco,
Yeah,
No.
Visco.
And
yeah.
and you can
heard
make
about
it.
that.
You edit
Yeah,
pictures.
you
That's
edit
what he
pictures.
edits all your pictures
you-
on.
No, I don't.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
it's a picture editor.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's an app on your phone.
Oh okay. Oh no, yeah, I know what you're talking about. No, exactly
It's
what you're
got the
talking
circle.
about. Never
logo.
mind. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know
but
what it
then-
is.
Like these Visco girls, they like
They'll take pictures with their water bottles.
they'll take pictures of their water bottles. They'll be like, "Oh, we'll make this cute indie thing like these, like that." It's like Visco girls,
Right on.
and they'll be like me at the beach and have like some random beach like quote. It's like, "Beach, please." Yeah, and they'll carry around hydro flasks, and it'll be like, "Ska, ska, ska." Oh my god, you guys really don't know what? Like, you guys are so out
I
of
know,
touch.
dude. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I don't care. But anyway.
I like those. That reminded me of one of those memes where it's like when he kisses back or shit like that, it'll be like just girly things.
Yeah.
I saw this one that was like when he sacrifices you to the Dark Lord and shit like that.
Gosh. Man, I kind of want to. We started talking about phones and stuff, and man, I kind of want to get into like all the cringiness that was the, mid thousands to the early tens and stuff like that.
When you brought up that me singing that voicemail, that opened the floodgates of just like
Yeah, but
cringe memory.
what was that one
Oh,
thing where you
gosh.
could like get a thing of Scooby Doo and like the hair would grow out of it or something?
Oh, Chia Pet.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they had one
Yeah.
for Bob Ross and Barack Obama.
that was like a big commercial for a while.
Yeah, I remember seeing
I
that
think
on TV.
yeah, there was.
There were some commercials that went on for like years,
No,
like
there's always
like Stanley Steamers.
back in them days. There were so many infomercials and stuff trying to sell you something like crazy. It's like more than any other time. I think
ShamWow.
that guy became meme famous for a while. Before
Billy Mays.
before we had that term. But
Isn't he the one that died?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, now
Yeah,
it's his son.
I think he had like a hemorrhage or something, right? But
I don't know.
It was the
Anyway.
Clorox guy, wasn't it?
yeah, he was the.
The
He'd be
Clorox
like-
bleach. Yeah.
He'd be like, "I'm gonna soak these in ketchup, then show you guys
Yeah.
how it."
I
shit
remember when after he passed away and the ShamWow guy came, I was like, who is this guy?
Did you ever watch Djibouti dubs on YouTube?
Yes, I did.
Oh my god, that shit's so fucking funny. Where it's talking about the whatever this wipe, it's this paper towel that's like super absorbent, but he basically takes the commercial and he dubs over it just saying stupid shit.
Yeah, and another guy that does this kind of like will like do voiceovers over the ads, the TV ads was a Penguinzo.
I don't think I heard of him.
Yeah, you look up that guy. He'll do that sometimes. Those old infomercial ads.
You ever seen Wow It's Made?
What is that?
Do you know what YouTube poops are?
Oh yeah.
It's one of those, but it's basically just a bunch of clips from the How It's Made show, and they'll be like, oh, the conveyor belt goes onto a conveyor belt that goes onto a conveyor belt, and it just glitches out, and they add all this different shit that doesn't make sense, but it's really funny.
Or like How to Basic. That makes me think of that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Or he'll be like,
Oh,
this
yeah, and he'll be like-
machine is the
he'll be like,
machine.
How to make a sandwich?
Well,
And he'll be like, he'll do it normally, and then it'll like go like.
They'll make
Complete shit.
messes up. Yeah, I'll make a mess everywhere. It's like how to make a.
And then people would like
sandwich,
watch
yeah.
that. Like that dude got like so
that
much
shit
money
is
off that.
hilarious.
Yeah, that shit is cringy and weird and all that. And he's like, you only see his feet the whole time.
He throws eggs at everything.
Eggs are always in the mix.
And then there was Bill Nye the Science Guy.
What?
What?
Bill Nye, the
Oh,
random guy.
For memes?
I thought we were talking about like nostalgic stuff.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Kind of. We went from like infomercials to
Well, I'm just thinking about the. I was just reminded. of the-
meme-ish
I was-
stuff.
I was reminded of the damn introduction. That shit was pretty meme-ish.
Yeah, I used to
Yeah.
watch that in class in 5th
Bill,
grade.
Bill, Bill, Bill.
Or he'll be like, "That's a lot of damn power." Dude, when I heard that in 5th grade, I was like, "Oh!"
Like, am I supposed to be watching this right
He said, "Damn." He said the D word.
Just wait till you hear Miss Frizzle cuss.
What the frizz? No way.
What the fuck?
I like my favorite part of the Magic School Bus theme song is where he's like, "Across the river of lava," and his voice squeaks. He's like, "Lava."
Or getting baked into a pie.
Yeah. You might get baked into a pie.
I want a magic school bus.
Across the river of
Man, I
lava.
remember back in the day, going to the library, I would like rent those tapes of that show.
The VHS tapes?
Yes, dude.
Yeah, bro.
Of the Magic School Bus?
Did you ever do that? Did you ever go to the library and like rent some VHS tapes? dude?
Yeah.
I rented
Back in the
DVDs.
I rented the Hobbit cartoon before they
Yeah,
even
dude, that's-
made the. I think this was before they even made the Lord of the Rings.
These are
movies.
exclusive memories of,
Yeah.
or playing the early computer games that you could play on computers there in public libraries.
Did you ever play this? I played this one called Thinking Things.
Thinking things. What was it about?
It's it was kind of an educational, not really educational type game, but it was like a kind of mind thing for kids.
Brain game.
Yeah, like a brain game. But there was different little mini games in it. Like there was one that was the memory. You know, we flip the tile and it's a color, and you got to find the other one that matches. But there was that one, and then there was one where it was this bird, and he had all these different instruments, and all these different shaped drums, like a triangle shaped drum, lightning bolt shaped one, and he would hit it with different mallets, and you could be like, oh, he's going to hit it with this mallet, and it would sound different every time.
Oh gosh, dude.
Yeah.
I found another game that I used to play. Speaking of educational computer games of the early days, I used to play this one game called Word Munchers.
Is that where you type really fast?
It looked like that. That
the
was a little
sharks?
character.
Oh shit, dude! I played. Did you play Carmen Sandiego?
Maybe.
Bro.
I know what that is, but I can't
I
remember.
remember
if I played it in a computer game though.
going to the computer lab in school
Yeah.
and like playing PBS games.
Yeah. Did you ever play the Jumpstart
And
games?
then there's like certain links you can go
Gosh, dude.
on the website to go to other websites, and you use that excuse to like play more games because it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I found it through PBS.
Yeah. It must be educational. Now you got to go to coolmathgames.com.
Is that getting shut down?
They blocked that at my school.
Dude, we had a basically a not really tour, but it was a kind of a server like that, or an internet browser that would get you past the school firewall. It was called virtual something.
There's always that.
forget
We're
what it's
always
called.
trying to get past the dang
Yeah.
firewall.
But it took forever to load, so by the time that it loaded, your class was almost over. I mean, fuck this. But I miss those days where you'd be in BCIS and they would just let you.
Play games.
Yeah, like fuck it.
That was the good old days.
Do this Word document real quick and then.
And then you can do whatever.
Play games.
Man, I remember all those old game websites. It was like, there was like Mini Clips was one, or what's another game site? There was Cool Math you could go to.
Cool Math Games, Addicting Games.
Addicting Games, I remember that.
Congregate, Newgrounds.
There was like Y2 Games or something.
Y2K.
Yeah, was it Y2K? I thought it was
Y2K is the.
If you think
I know what Y2K is, but I was like, it was Y2.
If you think about
there
it,
was Y2
oh, no.
something. It was
you
a
had
game
so
site.
many chances like to give your computer a virus back then, you know.
Oh yeah.
Like you gave your computer
But you,
so
you risked
many.
it all for the game.
You
though.
risked
It's
it
like-
all just to play that sniper
flash
shooter
game.
game.
Yeah, stick figure sniper games.
That stick figure sniper game, and you like shoot him across.
Dude, I played this one called Anaxa Female Assassin. There was this anime game, but it was in first person, and it was this like really dark film noir kind of vibe. Like, I met this
Yeah.
dame, and he's in the office with the jazz music with the black and white, and he's got the cigarette and the coffee type shit. But she'll be on top of a building, like leather jacket, sunglasses type shit, and it'll be like, oh, here's your target. And it has this whole story to it, but it's a flash game. Like, you just play it right through your internet thing. But it was bloody as fuck. And as you leveled up, you would get better guns, better bullets and stuff. And it would tell you...
You play that in school?
No, I didn't play it in school, but I played it at my grandparents' house. Because they would just let me use their computer, so I would just get on addicting games
yeah.
and shit.
Dude, that was kind of like a weird thing. Like, back in the day, a lot of them early games, you'd see a lot of stick figure games, man.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
I
'cause-
was thinking of one that I used to play a lot. It was called the Electric Man game, and it was like you would fight you were a stick guy with like electricity around you. You could like choose what color you were, like blue, red, green, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you'd fight waves of like these dudes, and you can like do different flips with the keys. You know.
Yeah.
It was like some karate game.
Yeah,
or something.
dude. I used
Or
to play
there was
that.
like territory war game that was one.
I played Bloons Tower Defense.
Balloons Tower Defense.
That was stuff you
classic one.
played while you were saving up for your PS2.
Yeah. I'd be like, man, when I get that new Call of Duty, it's all over.
When
Did you ever go to homestarrunner.com?
Homestar Runner. No,
Yeah.
I don't believe it did.
This guy.
No, I never saw that.
Yeah, there was a bunch of different little videos that would be on there. It wasn't really like a game,
Is
but
it like
was
educational-ish?
No, it's fucking weird. Hold on, homestarrunner.com. It's still
It's
like-
still up?
It's still up, yeah.
It's crazy how far games have went though. Like,
Man, what else is still up? I don't want to know.
Wow. Yeah. But there'd be little videos. Characters. Downloads. There's this one that's so fucking funny. It's just these little cartoons. Which one is it? I don't remember. It's this one where there's this coach of this soccer team or something, and Homestar Runner's trying to be on the soccer team, and the coach keeps messing up his name, and he'll be like, "Oh, what's my name? Because he can't. He has like a speech impediment." And they're making fun of him for it. And they're like, "Oh, you need to get a job," but he's like, "I need to get a gerb," and they keep making fun of him for saying it wrong.
That seems like some weird shit.
It's funny because there's this guy who's I guess like the bad guy of the group, and he's like, "You're almost there. Just next time you say it, try with like 5 less syllables," and they're just like roasting the fuck out of him. And he's there. It cuts to the scene where the guy's just sitting there and it's sad music playing. He's like, "I guess I'm just not cut out to say a word, gerb," and he just keeps saying shit wrong. But it's just goofy shit like that, like that old school grandparents' computer type vibe.
Yeah.
Gosh, it makes me think of stuff like I would see on this website called, I think it was called like Black Sheep or something like that. There'd be a bunch of like goofy ass videos like that.
Did you ever mess with Pivot?
Pivot? No,
Yeah.
I don't believe I did.
It was this program that you could download for your computer. I don't know if they still have it, but you would basically have stick figures or you would draw shapes, and it was basically kind of like an introduction to stop motion. Like you would have your stick figure and you would move their arm, like it would be a dot. There would be a dot for you to select on each of the joints, so you could rotate their head.
and then you click play and it does the move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So you would rotate their arm, take a picture, rotate it, take a picture. And I made badass shit. Like I made them have like swords and cut each other up and shit like that. But it took
They're
forever.
all taking a battle.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of cool movies too. Like there was you guys remember when Avatar came out? But that was like later on.
The blue people or the cartoon?
The blue people.
Or blue people?
I was thinking the first time I ever heard that was
not that long ago.
It was 10 years ago.
No.
It was 2010.
No. Hold on.
Wasn't
that
it?
to make me feel old over here.
No way. Are you serious? This came out in 2009?
That was 9 when it came out.
It was 10 years
What
ago.
the
It was-
fuck, dude?
I
No.
remember going to Blockbuster
Blockbuster.
and
Blocka?
getting that movie and watching it.
Blockbuster.
Dude, I saw that.
I
Did
saw
see
it in
that
theaters. I saw it in theaters and I was like,
That movie was amazing
was-
when I first saw it.
"You
dude.
thought it was amazing?"
It was
I think
Yeah.
I kind of got dragged to that movie because I was just like, "Damn, I want to leave." Like, I had these headphones, or not headphones, but the glasses
3D
on,
glasses,
3D
yeah.
glasses on, and it was just like
I
the
had
movie
it.
was like 3 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's
but
a long-ass movie,
Fucking
though.
epic, dude.
Dude, yeah, but it was like the best-selling movie, and then Endgame
Yeah.
Like-
Endgame beat it out.
beat it.
What's so weird is how it's the best-selling movie because it's not like it's a remake of anything. It's a completely original thing,
You talking about
as
Avatar?
far as I know. Yeah. Because it's like, oh, it's the best-selling movie, so you'd think there would be hype like, oh, they're finally remaking this.
Right,
or
right.
Not necessarily a remake, but, oh, I've always wanted them to make a movie. Like, you remember like when Deadpool came out?
Yeah.
There was never a Deadpool movie, so people were freaking the fuck out about it because they're like, it's
Right,
finally
right.
a movie. But the Avatar, I don't think it was a book or a comic or anything. It's just a
just-
completely
it's just
original
straight up.
thing. So
Well-
how did it beat everything?
I feel like it had to have been something that had been around for a while, though.
Look it up. Look
Yeah, let me hit this
Yeah.
Wikipedia. Second highest grossing because Endgame, but yeah. Let me see here.
I think it had to be a
It's
comic.
kind of
at
weird
least,
that like
you know?
a series of movies beat it out. Like, why didn't the other ones beat it out? Like, did people like skip movies?
You talking about the Avengers series?
Yeah,
I think it was just Endgame that beat it.
I know, but that's weird because like people that like skip it, you would think the other movies too would beat it out. You know?
Yeah, but Endgame is the end of everything. It's like
Yeah, but did people like skip? In a way.
I see what you're saying.
Like,
Because you'd think that each
Each
Avengers
one
would have
would-
that many sales.
like people are like, maybe it's like people are like, I'm gonna wait till it like gets on Netflix or something.
Yeah, dude. Because most of the Avengers have gone on Netflix before. Endgame is on there right now.
It is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And then it's Infinity War. One of them's on there. There's like fucking 4 or 5 of them. I don't know. I saw the first one. I was like, this is literally an hour and a half of them arguing, and then an hour and a half of them fighting.
I never really got into all that like superhero stuff. Really,
Only superhero movies I like were the Dark Knight trilogy.
DC or Avengers or Marvel, whatever.
I like DC, but their movies now are not doing them justice at all. Like Suicide Squad was garbage.
I think on both sides, it's kind of. None of the Marvel ones are always good, I think, but you know what I mean, like production wise and how it looks and so on. But
Yeah.
just like, what is the future of the superhero movie? Like, when does it end? You know, because it's overkill in my opinion.
You're gonna like drag it on. It's gonna be like, okay,
Well, they're gonna
this
make
bad
so
guy-
many of them that
this
no
bad
one's gonna
guy-
go see them at all. You know,
this
it's
bad
like,
guy comes back for the 5th time,
Right.
and it's like, dude, like,
or
come on.
these super friends fight the same old enemy. You know, kind of like you were saying, like the same old
Yeah.
enemy, or what are they gonna have left
it's
to
like,
fight?
it's like, wait, one of them dies. Wait, he's back alive.
and watch these super friends defeat world hunger and
Super
poverty,
friends.
defeat real world problems, maybe.
Every year there's a new Marvel calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'll see the Marvel timeline, and they'll be like, "Oh, this movie's coming out July 2020,
Right.
August 2020." It's like, "Oh, this superhero."
Yeah.
Bro, relax.
Or another thing, like, you know, we're talking about just in general superhero movies, but what about the ones where they make multiple movies on one person, like, you know, one character, and they keep doing it again and again and again? Like,
It's
there's like
kind of like
there's like a bunch of Thor movies.
Yeah,
There's
Iron
a bunch
Man.
of Iron Man ones, or whoever else.
they're kind of just like dragging it out for the money. Like,
Oh,
of
yeah.
course they are, dude.
They're the
'cause-
highest grossing
it's
movie
kind of like
ever.
it's
Right.
kind of like what Warner Brothers is doing with like bands like Grateful Dead. You know, no matter what store you go into, you're gonna find some Grateful Dead T-shirt or
Yeah.
Yeah,
sticker.
because it still sells. Like, people
Mhm.
like that mood that it brings. I mean,
Yeah, it's like
It's a brand.
they just
it's
drag it.
definitely it's a brand.
the
yeah,
band is a brand.
They drag it out kind of for the
Right.
money now.
Yeah.
Right, just like the characters are brands too. Like, you know, they're never gonna stop making like a Spider-Man movie. You know,
That's with that new shit too. Like, what they're still making Lil Peep albums and XXX Tentacion albums.
wait, I didn't hear about that. I thought that was just over with.
Oh no, dude! Because did you
Yeah,
hear
they're-
like when he passed and all
yeah,
that?
both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they found like the album he was like or tracks that like he never released or something.
Yeah, and they make them into an album and then they sell it because people buy it because they're like, oh, it's that.
the last one or
Yeah,
something.
you know, like when an
And-
artist dies young, people are like
And-
hop on their dick basically.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like, who's to say those are like the original tracks and how they were laid out? The studio is like, let's add this sad thing at the beginning to make it
Exactly.
more like they made like didn't they make that one X song?
Yeah,
They
the
put
whole
it-
Skins
they put it-
album,
they put it in, like,
he was
rever-
dead already.
They put it in like reverse or something. They put that one song, Justin Flores, in like reverse or something.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, the Skins album came out not that long after he passed. I think it was less than a year after he passed. And Kanye was on it and all this stuff. And it's like,
right, Kanye was on it.
yeah, and
It's
but
like he
it's just
wasn't
like,
hitting him up
was he-
before,
was-
was he?
exactly, no, that's the thing.
Did he go in there
I feel like
after
it
he
would-
died?
I
Yeah,
feel
he
like
went in there after the fact, and then
he
there
would have never hit him up otherwise, though. I don't think.
well, there was also an X verse on not really verse, but he did the hook on Lil Wayne's "The Carter 5," and
But Lil Wayne's old school, man. I feel like he
Yeah.
wouldn't even talk to Kanye. You know what I mean?
Carter
Lil
5.
Wayne wouldn't talk to
Carter
Kanye?
5
Not
was
really.
a good album.
Oh no, dude, Lil Wayne was on. He did Barry Bonds with Kanye on
They're cool?
Graduation. Yeah, they're cool. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Carter 5 was a good album.
I just feel like he's so
Carter
old.
5. I'm
old
glad that
school,
you
yeah.
appreciate that album because when you were playing it in Colorado, I was like, all right, cool.
Because like it's not just straight like beats. It's kind of more of like a soul thing to it.
Yeah.
You know, he has like the organ and then like the choir in it.
That was like the last Carter one he did, right?
Yeah, the most recent one. Yeah.
Okay.
And
yeah.
he went
I remember back in the day listening to like 3. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
that song. Wee, 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 wee,
Yeah, yeah.
He's more of not-
wee, wee.
Yeah, but back then he was more of like I'm gonna be a gang dude. Like he was like making like these like
gangster shit.
yeah. But now
punk shit,
but
yeah.
Carter 5 it's more like
Emotional.
it's like more of like he's humble.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's solidified.
Yeah.
He's like
And that's what I think about like rappers nowadays. Like you got rappers like fuck. I don't know
Kanye
who
solidified. Those rappers that have been in the game. Jay-Z is I think he's the richest rapper ever. It was either him or no. Yeah, he's the first billionaire rapper. I heard that a few months ago.
Billionaire rapper.
Billionaire. He's the first billionaire rapper.
On his own, or like on his own.
Yeah, well, he's got money in Tidal, the music thing. He's got money in all
Okay,
this
I
sort of
was
shit.
like, I
what
thought
the
you mean by him and his marriage and things like that.
Rockefeller or something like that. Well, yeah, I mean that would make sense because Beyonce's net worth's
but I
fucking
was
crazy
like, yeah,
too.
then
so.
together they're they're definitely billionaires.
Yeah.
All right. speaking of music, I'm about to rock your world, Christian. Do you know what was played at the Grand Ole Opry about 7 days ago?
No.
Old Town Road. They played it on the same stage.
You're fucking kidding me.
On the same stage. They're kind of like
They're like.
they're like that was a stage like to portray like
Oh my gosh!
they were
Like, can I just walk up there and be like, "Hey, like, can I play here?" Like,
no, dude, but it's just kind of like heartbreaking in a way. It's like this is a stage that like real dudes like put their heart and soul into, like to write this like good ass song, and now this like meme ass song, and then that one cowboy kid that was in Walmart.
Oh,
he was in it
Hank
too.
Williams?
He joined them on stage.
Or Mason Williams.
Yes, Mason Williams.
Oh, so he was actually there. It wasn't just
Mason
Lil Nas
Williams?
wasn't there. Lil Nas wasn't there,
It was just Mason Williams
and Billy Ray Cyrus.
without
But-
Lil Nas.
Yes.
What? Why would they do that?
That is
though?
weird.
Like, why would they
It's
play that
different.
song there without the guy who put it together and all this? Like, that is a major and it's such a low like thing to do at the Opry. I'm like, man, I thought this place was like hard to get into, very conservative, strict kind of country stuff. But I mean, this is what I thought. This is what the facade they've been putting on for a long time, and now they're just like,
Billy Ray Cyrus needs to go back to singing "Achy Breaky Hearts."
I don't think we need any more of that. But
Heart.
Nah, bro. It's just like with the movies too. Like if it's the top selling,
it's just
that's the top track
it's
ever.
a sellout world, folks.
Yeah, that is the top track ever.
Join the in crowd.
Longest running Billboard chart ever.
That one is.
Old Town Road, yeah.
That song is
Yeah, longest running
funny.
on Billboard charts. Yeah, I think it was last week that it broke the record.
Shit blows me away. It's so weird.
But it used to.
It's because of TikTok.
Didn't
That's why.
I thought Dark Side of the
Okay,
Moon was
this
up there
this
for
guy.
a while.
This
Yeah,
guy,
I mean, all that stuff's been up there for a while.
But think
but
about it,
longest
this
running.
guy started promoting this song via memes on
Exactly.
memes.
That's because it's 2019. That's how you get big.
That's crazy.
People remember the
Especially,
words
like-
to vines.
Especially like
You know?
YouTubers and stuff, like guitar YouTubers, they'll be like, "What should we play? Smoke on the Water for 10 hours straight," and they'll get like this huge fan base and be like, "Oh, here's my album,"
Yep.
and then they'll be
They get
like,
the clout first, and
get
then they're like, "Now that I have your attention." That's why Lady Gaga came out like to begin with. She's wearing a suit, looks like meat and shit. You remember all that? Back
no.
when Poker Face and all that. Her look was
do you guys
really
remember the
crazy.
music video to that?
Nah.
You don't remember
No,
the music video to
nah.
Poker Face?
I do. It was kind of.
I just heard the song. But
It was
I
like
never-
aliens and
Yeah, just trippy
Just
shit.
weird
Same with
stuff.
Nicki Minaj. She was wearing crazy shit when she first came out, and then people were like, "That gets people talking." She's like, "Now that I have your attention," and then they calm down. Or Kanye was like, "I'm gonna let you finish," but Beyonce had the best music video of all time.
Dude, that was like, everybody was like, what did you?
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, fuck you." He's
What
like,
are
"Now
you
that I have your
doing?"
attention, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy."
yeah,
And people are like, "Oh my god, best rap album ever." He's like, "Exactly. What'd I tell you?"
that was some crazy stuff.
All right,
dude.
guys, we're gonna take a break real quick. We'll be
To
right
watch
back.
this Lady Gaga Poker Face.
Yes, we're gonna take a break. We'll be right back in a few moments.
I need to be alone with this music video.
All right, we'll see you guys in a minute.
Can you hear that? All right.
I don't know. We'll figure it out later.
Well, you know, that'd be cool. We can do it with my guitar and go line in with that.
Ooh.
For the girl only in dreams, with the eyes black as the sea. Oh, Elena, you've grown so cold. Oh, Elena, you never told a single soul just how you felt and how you're feeling.
Damn.
As the waves washed on the rocks, and you hear a voice that talks, you start listening to what it says. You start asking what it is that makes the sea remind you of me.
Sorry.
No, we're good.
No disrespect.
And how far we are now. This is serious.
Thank you, Christian. Damn.
That was beautiful.
Well, thank you so much.
We'll have him play another song later for us.
That was beautiful.
That was Phil Hawley. Phil Hawley.
Aye.
Thank you, Phil. And we're back.
You know what I'm saying?
Fire.
Back as fuck.
Yes.
I had my alone time with that video, and I'm feeling refreshed. I'm feeling clean. You know?
With
With the alien shit.
Feels good.
Oh, yes, but... Yeah, but music, is it just a meme now? Like...
It's 29 to meme. That was bad. But no, that's how it is, though. Like, that's why he got big.
Is music an art anymore? Like...
It's just a
It
different
is to
form
those
of art.
who. It is to those who
Think it...
make it art. Yeah, but or they can make it a meme, and lo and behold, it became a hit somehow. But yeah, that it is kind of strange the way of promoting music and getting people to buy music again.
Right.
There seems to be some kind of hunger for new stuff, something that's not top 40, but you know,
Still
but you're
resonates.
but you're still getting those people that are like
Yeah.
meme hits and so on and whatever, and that's something too, I guess. That's something different that's not really mainstream, but
We got the charts pulled up right here. We got number 1, Old Town Road. Number 2, Bad Guy by Billie Eilish.
Billy Eyelashes.
Billie Eyelash, Batty
And
Eyelash.
then we got number 3, Shawn Mendes, and number 4.
Khaled. That's that guy. He's from El Paso.
That guy's from El Paso?
Khaled, yeah. The guy
No
who
way.
does Young, Dumb. Young, Dumb, and Broke. Young, Dumb. You ever heard that
I've
song?
never heard that song.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I don't even listen to the radio anymore.
Yeah, he's
But-
he's the radio kind of
Little Nas
vibe.
is heading down now, as you can... Well, what does that arrow mean? What do you think?
I don't know.
Or does it mean it's just staying
I think it means it's just stagnant at this point. It's not really going
up? But like
Yeah.
this one's going up.
But part of the reason that he's at number 1
It's because TikTok
and since he keeps coming out with those remixes,
Yeah.
they were talking about this on the H3 podcast, how it all funnels into the original song.
Going back to like he's draining it out. People are draining it out. He's really draining out that song. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it with this other meme person, like he did a remix with Mason Ramsey.
Exactly.
You know, I really do. I think it kind of sucks to be number 1 like that.
It's a very smart marketing strategy. Because he's really tapping into the meme culture, whereas all these other people are like, I want to make a song that's catchy. I want to make something that's hard.
Yeah, I get that. Like his
Yeah.
strategy,
Yeah.
that's kind of that's a new way. That's paving a new way somewhere because it's trying to get at a different crowd than like, let me get
He came out with
to
another song?
let me get to the
Panini.
record
Yeah.
company. Let me get to the top 40. I want to get on the that kind of old way of thinking that doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
And he's like saying, oh well, everyone's on here.
Exactly. Everyone's on TikTok. That's the new Vine, or everyone's on Twitter, or blah blah blah. But
Right.
no,
There's-
you remember that song that was like, first let me hop out the motherfucking Porsche. I don't want. You know what I'm talking about? That it used to be one of those meme songs. People
Yeah.
would make their vines and they would have that song.
Or that one song. What was it like? Panda.
Yeah, Panda. Yeah, that was pretty big, and that's what people were worried was going to happen with Lil Nas X, because Designer, when he dropped Panda, that's basically the last he was heard from. Like he dropped a mixtape since then that was really. I didn't really hear some of it, but he had this song called Timmy Turner that was pretty fucking good on it. But a lot of the reviewers that I watched were saying that it was kind of just broken, like it didn't sound like it was actually polished. It was just like unfinished tracks and shit like
Right,
that.
yeah.
And people were worried that's what Lil Nas X was gonna do. They were like, oh, he's just gonna have one hit and then dip. But when he came out with I think 7 is what his album's called, with Panini on it and stuff like that, that's
They're
doing
good?
numbers. Yeah. And it's not just the country.
Well, I'm sure he's able
Yeah.
to get more
Yeah.
help with that now.
Who
than
is-
before? Because what he bought his beat off BeatStars or something like that.
Yeah, he found it on YouTube or something.
Who is that one rapper who's like keeps like promoting their album, but they never release it.
Oh, Lil Uzi Vert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like,
It's coming out. It's
he's
coming
like-
out.
he's like,
Eternal Atake or a take. I don't know how to say it.
he's like, I'm gonna drop it tomorrow, guys.
Okay,
I
well-
swear to God.
I saw this whole timeline of the situation with that album, and it was basically like originally he was fucked with his label and they weren't letting him drop shit. That's why he dropped Free Uzi, which was just a single, and he's going off like saying all this shit, and people were like, yeah, he's locked in with his label and they're not letting him do what he needs to do. But then a representative from the label came out and said, oh no, he's free to drop it whenever he wants. And then he was like, people would be taking videos of him. He's like, I don't know when it's coming out at this point. Oh, I just want to quit music. And then he went on Snapchat and said he retired and deleted all of it. And then he's like, okay, well now I have it done again. It's going to come out in 2 weeks. And that was a few months ago.
And gets low on money. All right, I'm gonna drop it now.
Yeah, I don't know what the situation with that is.
That's the same thing Tame Impala did. He postponed his album, like, but it wasn't that long. It was like a few months.
Yeah, that guy does everything on his album, though, right?
Yeah, like he has his own like house.
That would be overwhelming, though.
That's
You know,
that shit when you watch
Yeah,
those videos.
I
of
can
him.
I can
Yeah,
see how
but-
that might be crazy because you're like, I'm making every track and playing every instrument. It probably
Yeah.
gets
But it's also
kinda
like
wild.
you work on your schedule. You know, I'd be like, I
Right.
gotta wait
Yeah,
on the
but
bass player
there's
to
a
come.
price to that, you know, like
Yeah, it's like you're not getting the full like.
You're not getting input from other sources.
Yeah, it's
Right,
Like,
that's-
these are how I play drums.
Exactly.
This is how I play keys. This is how I play
right,
guitar.
yeah, and it's like
And it's
yeah.
like although he's like good at every instrument like that, it's like you're still leaving out potential like your song could be if someone was like, what if we add this here? You know?
Right, that
Well,
other
it's
input.
Good, it's good to balance ideas. I mean, I think too much of your own idealism is not good. I think you get too much in your head, and you're like, oh yeah. Well, I'll just do it. You get too used to that, and you're like, well, never mind. I'll just do it because everyone else is not gonna get what I'm doing. But really, I mean, like the collaboration is the best part of it. I think. You know?
Right, and he travels with
His own band.
his own band and stuff
Right,
when he
not-
goes on
right. Not
tour.
to say
And
he
they-
doesn't
yeah.
hit,
And they have-
hang with other people and do that
And
too.
they have
but-
like the Crazy Light shows too, kind of like inspired by like Pink Floyd and stuff, like the Crazy Live shows.
He was on the Tonight Show or the Late Show with Travis Scott,
hey, that's
and he was
different.
on Astroworld as well, I believe.
But
Yeah,
I
that shit's
like
trippy,
how
dude.
he chose the name Tame Impala. It sounds like a band, but it's just like this one guy,
Exactly.
pretty much.
That dude's a musical genius, man. But that's because he is disciplined. He's taken the time to separate himself from all the bullshit and just focus on honing his craft. Versus, oh, I got home, I got all these stimulants here. I got my phone, I can get on Instagram, I can play video games. I
Right,
can-
that is a hard thing to get
distractions
over these days.
Exactly, distractions, man. If you get somewhere and you turn your phone off and you're like, this is what I'm doing, you just have to
Right,
clear your
yeah.
mind of, like that SpongeBob episode where he's like, I want you to clear your mind of everything
Like,
but fine
shit.
dining and,
And
breathing.
yeah.
Like, and he's like, I'm gonna save up for the synthesizer because I want this sound. And
Exactly.
he's like, has like all this like fucking shit.
Right, that makes me think of a book I was reading, you know,
The
that Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
And they talk about, you know, desire, how much you desire something, you know. It's kind of like how much you're really willing to
Mhm.
stick there and just be with that thing, you know, always be on that thing that you want to do.
Mhm.
And that's what your goal is. That's what your life is about, you know.
You can't lose sight of that shit.
Right, yeah, and whatever your life is about, you know, you have to figure out what it is, you know, before you just make a
Yeah,
decision.
you can't just be like go in blind and be like, I hope I
Right,
have
yeah.
a sense of purpose
Right,
that
yeah,
just comes
yeah.
to me.
If you have something that you believe in strongly and that you do very well, and you stick by that and stand by that and say, look, this is what my life is about. This is what I do.
Exactly.
Then you know, you get that feeling of that. Then you should heed that call, I think, and do that. You know, and stop messing around because nothing else is gonna make you as happy as that does.
It's kind of like I want to do this, but I got bills, and it's like.
Yeah.
you could say that. Everyone could say that.
Yeah.
You know, I think.
But it's also like that responsibility. It's like I want to do it. I could take the time to do it, but it's just like I don't like. I have. other
Well, if
stuff.
you like it, you won't make that excuse. You know?
Exactly.
I
It's like,
think-
how bad do you want it? Because you can want.
Right.
It's like, do you want to make excuses more, or do you want to do this thing more? And you also have to be honest with yourself. Like, if you're not good at something, like you can Like you can tell like whether you're,
Yeah.
but there, you got to find the balance between being honest with yourself and not being too
Discouraging.
self-critical
Right.
and like,
I remember, not to cut you off,
oh, you good.
but I remember you know, I was this is when I was probably about his age. I was about 16, 17 or somewhere, and I remember this guy. I was checking his groceries, and he's like, he looked at me, had some shaggy hair kind of then. It was kind of long.
You did or he did?
I did. No,
Okay.
this is an old man. He's probably like in his 60s or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And I had like this big denim coat on. It was kind of winter
Yeah.
or something like that. And he's like, "Are you an artist?" And I was like, "Yes, sir." And he's like,
yeah.
"He's like, good. If it comes naturally to you, stick with it." And I was like, "Yes, sir." And that was probably one of the most
was
honest
a sign.
thing I was told.
That was
For
so weird.
real,
Like he was
some
just
real
he,
shit.
he like looked at you and he was like, "Are you an artist?"
Right? Yeah. And if someone can look at you and say that, and
It was a
and
sign.
say, yeah, if it comes natural to you, then you should do it. And luckily I'm blessed enough to have something that comes natural to me.
Mm-hmm.
So
It
you know,
was
for the last 3 years I've been trying to get that business started because it's super easy and I haven't really gave up on it. I'm just like
Right.
that's the only thing I do, and I'd like to do it even more than I do it now. In some ways I'm not necessarily heeding that call, like I said, always. It's kind of like a day-to-day battle
Right.
of
And-
keeping your focus.
Right. And there's a discipline of like, okay, you have the craft itself that you have to discipline of I have to practice and I have to
Right.
blah, blah, blah. But there's also a discipline that
It's your own behavior.
your behavior and your mindset. Like you have to actually be with yourself and be like, okay, how do I feel about this?
Right,
Why am
right.
I reacting this way? Why am I making excuses? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I think it's really just your perspective, and what you're allowing yourself to take in. So I think
Mhm.
from your behaviors, you're attaching. Okay, so this is one of the things I was reading. It was kind of like attaching behaviors with emotions. Like, oh, I'm sad. I'm gonna watch this show or something, or
a sad show.
yeah, or
Yeah.
something like that. Or I'm gonna eat or something, or I need something sweet or whatever.
It's a
like
vice.
that. Right? Yeah. There's always something like that, and instead of doing that, you could just maybe do that one thing you like to do so much,
Right.
or so on like that. But yeah, I'm sort of getting off track here, but
No, I see what
You
you're
know
saying.
what I
Like
mean?
a way of healthily expressing.
right, it's just your whole perspective. It's not you have
Yeah.
to sit there and criticize yourself and say, well,
Mm.
don't do that because this is stupid, or don't
Right.
do that because or giving yourself a hard time about it. But I
Right.
think you should just, it's your perspective, your whole perspective. And sometimes I found even a lot of ways that I sit too much in my mind sometimes.
Same.
Like so occasionally I open my eyes and I'd be like, there's a whole world around me, and I'm like acting accordingly to it,
Mhm.
but almost just going through it. Just kind of, I'm not really saying, well, I'm this small and the world is this big with this, this huge opportunity and possibility.
Mhm.
I'm just like, I want to stay cozy here in my mind and just
Right.
do that because
The observer.
right, it seems like that. And I feel like it's safe, and in right there in your headspace you're always right, and you're never
No one's like
no one
criticizing you.
no one
one's
no one
judging
no one
you.
can trump
Yeah.
no one can trump you. It's like, I think I'm getting this is where it's becoming a little bit different for me, because I think by staying there in some ways I'm able to keep the world I want, in a sense.
Yeah.
But sometimes I feel like I'm blind to other things as well that could help that out,
Right. You have to be open to different input from different sources and stuff like that. You have to actually go out. Like that's kind of been my struggle, because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm trying to get in this music shit and stuff. But you have to actually go out and network and like, go out and do these things.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough world, and I wouldn't say you have to think. I shouldn't even. Let's see. I wouldn't even say think of it like that. Like you have to go out and do it. Like I think
Right.
you should either want to or just do it if you're fearful,
Right.
because there's no risk in going for it, I think.
Right. And
And
it's that trial and error stuff too, because if you
Right.
do it and then you bomb, you're like, okay,
yeah,
well,
I wouldn't make any predictions before you go and do anything. I would say
right.
just go out there and try it out. If you're really scared of it, I would just say just go out there and absolutely do it. And
Crush it.
for whatever it is. No, not even crush it. Just like
Right.
for whatever it turns out to be.
Yeah.
And then say,
Now I know.
and then because I remember it was the first time I ever sang in front of people. It was like at a high school talent show. Like this, yeah, it was crazy. Okay, so it went like this. I didn't do it like my sophomore year because I had a girlfriend. She's like, "That's stupid. Don't do that." And I was like, "Oh, okay," because she didn't.
I
She didn't
support my dreams.
She said that because she didn't like that kind of attention, and I wasn't really playing it with anybody. I was just by myself.
Right.
And then junior year was like, okay, I'm kind of hanging out with friends, and they
Is
would
this
come
the
over.
band? Is this the band?
Huh?
Is this Lobster Stockbrokers?
Oh, yeah. We'll get to that part of it, but yeah, but so friends started coming over and playing music at my house, like always, you know, and then it was just kind of thrown on me. It's like, oh, you're singing, and I was like,
oh fuck.
yeah, I was really not. I was trying to get away from that. I was like, I'll just play guitar, you know.
Yeah.
But I ended up having to sing, and so we practice and all that stuff, and it seemed like, oh, it's gonna go okay. I think I'm not gonna forget any lyrics or anything, and
Yeah.
I didn't really. So it was good. We got up there and did the audition, and that was like so exciting. I was like, I just sang in front of a bunch of people.
Right.
I was still nervous. Actually, that was the second time, but the first time, after that, I was like, wow, that was so crazy.
Yeah.
We were just singing in front of the judges for the audition part.
Yeah, but you psych yourself out. And you're
Right,
like,
yeah.
Fuck.
And then when it comes to the show day, we get up there. We're having drummer problems. We got the right drummer. He was going to play that night for us, so it's cool. So we got him on stage, and there was a bunch of people there. And I remember my parents went too. And my mom was like, there was a bunch of kids. No. I mean, I don't know. I didn't hear that, but anyway,
up there.
but she told me that a bunch of my friends, other people I went to school with, they were in my grade, like ran up to the stage and was like trying to watch me and stuff. And I was like, that's kind of cool.
Damn.
And they were, yeah. I remember somebody was making fun of
Groupies.
me. I had some goofy glasses on, and they were one of my friends. He's such a goof ass, but he was like, "Hey, it's John Lennon over there," like yelling from way in the back, you know.
Hey.
Yeah, and I was like, oh
The
gosh.
second coming of John Lennon.
So I have these goofy glasses on. I step up to the mic, right, and I'm like this. I bend over to start singing, and they fall off my face. This is a show night. And there's
Oh,
a bunch
shit.
of people out there, and I was like, oh shit. I was like in the middle of the beginning riff, and they fall off my face, and so
While you're playing?
I just
Oh,
shake them off,
fuck,
and I just
dude.
kept going. I was like, this is funny, but
Damn.
it didn't fuck me up
People
too
were
hard.
laughing at you or anything?
Yeah, it was funny. I saw them
Yeah.
kind of smirking out there, and it was like,
Yeah. That's what I'll do
But-
sometimes at church. Like if I fuck up drumming, I can tell, but I'll psych myself out and I'll be like, oh, these people can tell I fucked up. But it's like, they're not. That's the last thing they're paying
yeah.
attention to.
I was like, well, I'm not gonna stop playing because I just
Unless
like,
they're a musician.
that
Right.
that ends it all.
Unless they're a musician, then they're
But
like,
point of it all though was like that was crazy for me. That was really like the first time I'd sang and played guitar in front of anybody really, like
Yeah.
as a show performing,
Yeah.
And after that, I remember going in the band room, where they practice and stuff like that, and it's all like soundproof and whatnot. But I was like, yes, I was like, I just sang in front of a whole bunch of people.
yeah.
I was so excited, I was like, wow, it was like such a rush, and even though the performance was all right, it
Yeah.
was okay, but
It's the sense of accomplishment.
right, but that was with a band. No, I had the same feeling later on when I was like, okay, I want to play by myself and do a solo thing. I remember that was really scary. I was like, dead
You don't have
scared.
any.
Nobody.
You don't want to turn around and be like,
No.
good? Like,
No, and I practiced these, I did a half hour, and I was scared of that, like shitless of a half hour.
I would be too, man. Shit.
So I practiced these 10 songs or so, or whatever I had, for like a month.
This is
Straight.
covers at this point? Or?
Yeah, they were just covers at this point. I wasn't even. Well, I was still writing, but I didn't have any of my
like
own
full polished.
Yeah, I didn't have any of my own that I was willing to perform at that time. But
Damn.
It was
Yeah,
some
man.
crazy shit. I think if you just stick with it and go for it, even when you're fucking scared of it, I mean, it's gonna be all right. There really is no consequence and something that doesn't hurt anybody.
Right.
refresh me on the story about the name, the band name.
Oh right, yeah. So there was this guy who was a bass player, and he was the bass player for us that night. And oh my god,
This is at the high school?
Yeah,
gig?
this is at the high school one, and the name that I had worked out with my friend was the Electric Gypsy Circus. Sounded all right. It sounded pretty cool for at the time,
For high schoolers?
Yeah, I was like, that's
yeah.
pretty neat.
Instead of like chicks with dicks or
I
some
think-
shit like that. Like some dumbass.
I think I
The
think I still
Band-Aids.
have that little.
Yeah.
I think I still have that drawing of the name in my room somewhere, but.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and so we're gonna go up as that name, right? And I guess that kid was like in theater or something like that. So he had told the theater kids who were like hosting it, "Hey, it's this" or something.
Oh, he told him a different name.
Yeah, like without I didn't know this, and I was like,
Yeah.
when they said that, I was so pissed. I was like,
What did he change it to? Do you know?
lobster stockbrokers. That's what it was.
Lobster stockbrokers.
Yeah, it was like I
What
think
the
I think he
fuck,
got it off
dude?
of a band generator name thing,
Oh my god.
and he told him that. And I was so pissed off because, basically this is like sort of like my whole thing.
Yeah.
I just kind of like got together and got everybody to play. It's like, hey, let's do the show thing, and then he did that, and I was like,
Did you go up
It's
there
kinda-
and say like, "We are the Electric Gypsy Orchestra"? And
No,
then
they
he's
just
like-
no. We just went on. So they had the host come up there with a microphone and then
And then he said lobster, whatever.
announced us up there. Yeah.
And you were
Damn.
Like, you were like,
So that's the first time you found out. Like they didn't tell you beforehand. You didn't.
No,
you just
hell
find
no.
out
They didn't tell.
once you're about to go on stage. And
Yeah.
you're like, what the fuck? Is
like-
that us?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like this.
but oh well. I was kind of like, I was nervous and in a rush that day. I was kind of like not in a good mood to begin with.
Now introducing the Lobster Stockbrokers.
Pretty much like that. It was pretty much like that.
Crickets.
So yeah, and then the cricket noises.
Oh my god.
So yeah, that was really fun.
I did one time that wasn't really like a talent show, but it was a play in high school, and I wasn't in the play, but I was in theater class, and I had been a theater aide, like you could be a teacher's aide basically for one of your periods if you had good enough credits or whatever. So we were I was the teacher's aide, and I think I had graduated at this point, but I came to a play there with my girlfriend at the time, and the theater teacher was there, and she saw me, and she was like, "Oh shit! Like it's a good thing I ran into you. Would you mind going up on stage for this bit because we had this guy bail out?" And I was like, "Shit, okay." Like he put me on the spot like that. Like I guess whatever.
You had to say what, like one line or something?
No, yeah, but basically it was the bit was it was a spelling bee.
Oh yeah.
And they're trying to eliminate the people, so they would give you
Right.
an easy word to spell, and then they give you a hard ass word that no one can fucking spell
Yeah.
to eliminate you because they're trying to move on to the next part of the play. So
Yeah.
they got to get these people off the stage. So they give me a word, and I was like, I was all flustered. I'm up on stage, and I'm like, can you spell it in a sentence? Instead of can you say it in a sentence, I was like, can you spell it in a sentence, please?
Like the real deal. You're like, can you say this?
And I was like, oh fuck. And
What's the
then-
definition?
Yeah, some shit like that. And then I spelled it, and they're like, oh, that's wrong or whatever. And there's this part where I guess they had this little musical number, and everyone's running around the stage, or they have to escort you off the stage when you fail the spelling bee or
Yeah.
whatever. So everyone's running around the stage, and I'm running around with everyone. I'm like, oh, what the fuck is going on? And then I tried to run off the stage because I was like, okay, I've been eliminated. Like, I guess this part's over. Like,
Right.
you don't need me anymore. And I ran to the opposite side of the stage, like the wrong side.
Yeah.
And there's someone with the little headset and the black t-shirt, and they're like, no, that side. And I'm like, fuck. So I have to run across the stage to the other side, and I'm the only person running now. Everyone at this point is already sitting down. And I'm like, fuck. And there's a whole, like, embarrassing and flustering and shit.
Like,
but-
there he goes again.
yeah, bro. But yeah, man, how long have we been going? Like,
Now
I don't know,
we're
what we got?
about 7 minutes. And
okay.
There's, we were reflecting on some good times. Good times.
Some good meat and potatoes for this this episode.
This here of the
And I'm Tyler.
Podcast.
This
And
is
we're hot.
Matt. And,
Yeah.
we have
And this is the
me,
man with the
Phil.
plan.
The
And
man
this
with
is
the plan.
The man with the
Mr.
plan.
Phil.
Throw in a little song for us, Mr. Phil.
Little wrap it up ditty. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you guys for joining us on this Tuesday evening. Or whenever you guys are watching this, whenever this is uploaded. But we're recording this on a Tuesday evening.
Well, it's Tuesday evening.
Yo, yeah, baby. I got the blues in my shoes.
I got the blues today.
It's 7:12 p.m.
And we're going off here, and I tell you, it's a sin until next week.
See you guys next week.
Now it's 7:13.